Well, good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manny coming to you from our home here in Columbus tonight. I want to thank all my loyal viewers for tuning in tonight here on YouTube land. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As you saw earlier today, I took the Ice Bucket Challenge. I had the opportunity to dump a bucket of ice water over my head. So I decided to go ahead and pass that challenge on to my dad. So, Dad, if you're listening tonight, I'm issuing the challenge to you. I'm sure we'll get back to you some way, somehow. So I would love to see that. I would love to see what my dad can do, if he'll actually take the challenge or not. It's for a good cause. It's for ALS, Research for Lou Gehrig's disease. I would love to see somebody take that challenge. And I'm issuing the challenge to my dad. So, Dad, if you're listening, I'm laying out the challenge for you. Also tonight, I got the news and the notes. I'm just going to go and just jump right into it. The Cleveland Browns have tabbed Brian Hoyer as their starting quarterback. Johnny Manziel has the ability to run from defenders, but not the truth. And the truth is, he's not ready to be the starting quarterback. The Browns' next preseason game is against St. Louis at 8 o'clock. And the Browns' first game of the regular season, which starts September 7th in Week 1, their first game will be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they have to travel to Pittsburgh. So keep that in mind. There's a lot going on with the Browns right now. Brian Hoyer is going to be the starting quarterback for Week 1. So we'll go from there and see what happens the rest of the way. Urban Meyer praises J.T. Barrett as Ohio State starts digging into their game plan for the opener now that Braxton Miller officially will miss the coming season due to injury. They are planning on a redshirt freshman, J.T. Barrett, stepping into the considerable shoes of the two-time defending Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. At the start, J.T. has had over 300 snaps and throws this fall. According to Meyer, that's what he's going to be looking at. Meyer said after practice on Wednesday, quarterback is an important cog, but that's not exactly what it is. The cog is not the team. Also today, Tony Stewart has decided not to race at Bristol on Saturday night. This will be the third race he will miss since the tragic accident with Kevin Ward Jr. on August 9th. And once again, Jeff Burton will replace Stewart in the number 14 Chevrolet. Stewart House Racing is allowing Stewart to take the time that he needs away from the track. In a team statement today, indicated that the three-time champion is taking it week by week. Stewart will not have to decide on another race until August 31st in Atlanta. And also today, I've just found out Carl Edwards will be driving for Joe Gibbs Racing starting in 2015. So we're going to be getting into the silly season, folks, before too much longer. I think we're pretty much into the silly season now to find out where teams are going. We'll have more of a clear picture towards the end of the season. So Carl Edwards is leaving Roush to go race for Joe Gibbs. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. Also, I got the baseball scores for tonight. San Diego beat the Dodgers 4-1. Texas beat Miami 5-4. The Phillies were winners over Seattle today 4-3. Toronto beat Milwaukee 9-5. The Mets were 8-5 winners over Oakland tonight. The LA Angels beat the Boston Red Sox 8-3. The Astros beat the Yankees 5-2. The Washington Nationals beat the Arizona Diamondbacks today 3-2. Pittsburgh beat Atlanta 3-2. Detroit shut out Tampa Bay 6-0 today. St. Louis beat Cincinnati 7-3. San Francisco beat Chicago 8-3. Baltimore beat the White Sox 4-3. The Indians were winners tonight over the Twins 5-0. And the Rockies beat the Kansas City Royals today 5-2. So here's how it looks tonight with the division leaders and wild card playoffs. The AL East, Baltimore leads Toronto. Out in the Central, Kansas City leads Detroit. And out west, LA leads Oakland by a half game. In the NL East, the Nationals lead the Braves. The Dodgers lead over the Giants. And the Brewers lead over the Cardinals. And as far as the wild card playoffs go, and remember, just like I got it down to like a 3-team race in each division. So with that in mind, there are 3 teams in the top 3, but there's only 2 wild card spots open. So if the playoffs were to start either tomorrow or right now in the American League, Oakland would have the number 1 spot, and Detroit would be number 2. And right now, Seattle's fighting with Detroit for that number 2 wild card spot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. They got a few more games against each other down the road. Right now, Detroit is in the middle of a dogfight with Kansas City for the American League Central. And we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. In the National League, the Cardinals have the number 1 wild card spot. San Francisco has the number 2 wild card spot, and the number 3 wild card spot and the third right now in striking distance is Atlanta. And I'll tell you what, folks, San Francisco might have gotten an early Christmas present. Let me explain why. When you hear the explanation I'm about to give you, you're going to think that I may be making this up. I saw this on ESPN. I was at ESPN.com earlier tonight, and I saw this explanation. And here's what's going on. In a rare In a rare appeal that the San Francisco Giants won, the appeal in the tarp snafu against the Chicago Cubs, it is the first time since 1986 an MLB team won a protest. The game will resume at 4:05 Central Time, 5:05 East Coast Time on Thursday. It will start in the bottom of the fifth inning with the Cubs leading 2-0. So here's what happened. The field got soaked after 15 minutes of a hard downpour, holding play after 4.5 innings of play. That began a 4.5-hour rain delay. It started in a 4.5-hour rain delay that extended until the victory was awarded to the Cubs. In the wee hours of Wednesday morning, the Giants decided to protest based on Rule 4-2, Section 3, which states a game can be suspended due to a malfunction of a mechanical device under control of the home club. The Cubs tarp, as determined by Major League Baseball, fell under these guidelines. However, the Giants wanted the Cubs to forfeit, but umpire crew chief Wendelstedt decided there wasn't enough evidence for that. So therefore, the Giants may have gotten a little bit of a break on that. So with that in mind, San Francisco, if they can come back and win tomorrow, and they can win the other game tomorrow night, we may really have a wild card dogfight on our hands. The Dodgers won tonight, so I don't think they're going to take over and take LA. So what I'm saying is, San Francisco may have just gotten the biggest Christmas present known to man right now by winning it in the field. If they win tomorrow, and they win the other game tomorrow night, their regularly scheduled game, it's like almost winning a doubleheader, if you ask me. So we'll have to wait and see what happens down the road. So keep this in mind. If San Francisco does get into the playoffs and does get the other wild card, mark this down. Keep that in the back of your mind. So that's something you may want to think about. And did you know the last time a protest was filed and a team won, you have to go all the way back to June 16, 1986. The Pirates won a protest that a game in Pittsburgh against St. Louis ended prematurely, with the Cardinals leading 4-1. The game resumed 2 days later. The Cardinals held on to win 4-2. So, that's basically it for tonight. I just want to thank all my loyal viewers. But before I go tonight, I want to do something a little special. Now, you guys know the old Ohio State fight song, but going into the college football season, I'm going to ask an opinion question. So my opinion question is, besides the Ohio State fight song, what is your all-time favorite college fight song? I've got 3 of them come to mind. They would have to be the Notre Dame fight song, the Eyes of Texas by the Texas Longhorns, and of course, with me being an SEC lover and an SEC homeboy, I would have to say, Glory, Glory to Old Georgia, which sounds like the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I'd have to say that one. Those 3 are my all-time favorites. So I would love to hear from you on that. What is your all-time favorite college fight song? It can be Ohio State. It could be something else. But I'm just throwing those 3 out there just to let you know that I'm not just an Ohio State guy. I've also got love and interest all over with other teams, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And everybody claims I'm a wagon jumper. I've been known to do that, and I admit it. So with that in mind, I would love to hear from you. So you can Google me. I'm on Google+, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, and I am on Twitter. I would love to hear from you. What is your all-time favorite college fight song? It could be Ohio State, or if it doesn't have to be Ohio State. If you have something else in mind, I'd love to hear from you. And also tonight, one last time, I took the Ice Bucket Challenge earlier today. I am passing the challenge on to you, Dad. I know you're probably listening out there, and I'm sure somebody in the family, or on Mom's side of the family, or even your side of the family is listening tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised if I hear from you here in the next few days. Will my dad take the challenge? We'll have to find out. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight, and I want to thank all my loyal viewers for tuning in every week. So with that in mind, this is Scott Manning saying good night.